Intro to SketchUp. Basic Design. Hello and welcome to this primer on SketchUp Make. I am Jess Sullivan, a student technologist at Plymouth State University. In the following video, we will cover how SketchUp renders 3D objects, how to interact with SketchUp, and how to design a simple project box. To start, open an instance of SketchUp Make and select the template in the units you prefer. I am using feet and inches. Next, you will want to navigate to View, Toolbars, and toggle the Large Tool Set. Be sure to use a proper 3-button mouse with the scroll wheel. When working in a 3D environment, we are working with 3 axes, and having a 3-button mouse will assist in how you create and navigate in this complex environment. Now that you are in SketchUp, try to click and hold your middle mouse button, the scroll wheel, while dragging left and right. This will momentarily enable the Orbit tool and will let us see all around our model. Click and hold both the middle and left mouse buttons to drag the view on a plane. You'll see 3 axes moving around. The z-axis, or vertical axis, is blue, the y-axis is green, and the x-axis is red. The point at which all the axes meet is referred to as the origin. Now that we are all set up to use SketchUp, we need to understand a bit on how SketchUp works. SketchUp creates 3D objects using vectors. These are essentially limited to points, lines, and polygons. This is important and differs from mesh-based softwares like MeshMixer. Curves in SketchUp are, by default, lines in an arc subdivided to resemble a curve. While this limits one's ability to easily create organic shapes, it enables us to draw models quickly, using simple vector tools like line, arc, push, and circle tools. Let's begin designing a 3D printable project box for an electronics project. To start, hit the L key to enter the line tool. Click the origin to start drawing a line. Note the origin will snap your cursor to its absolute location. This is handy as it gives the point a reference of 0. Follow the red axis with your cursor, such that your line snaps to the guide. Before you click again to finish your line, enter the length in template units on your keyboard. My template is set to inches, so I'll enter 3.5. You will now see you can draw another line. SketchUp will automatically do this until you reach another node, change tools, or hit space, which returns your tool to a cursor. Follow the green axis and key in 2. Continue until you create a rectangle. Note, you can also use the rectangle tool and its length syntax R on your keyboard for this. Just know, in many cases, you may not actually want a rectangle, and the line tool is usually just as quick. Hit P on your keyboard for the push-pull tool. Key in 2. Now that we have a 3D object, it's time to hollow it out. Remember, the walls of this box have no thickness. They are simply planes. Using the drawing tools listed before, create 2 opposing squares at 0.5 inches as guides. Hit R to connect them with a rectangle in between. Before you delete the guides, hit A to form an arc between the opposing guide corners. In this case, key in 1/8 for the radius. Recreate these arcs on the last two corners. Hit P for the push-pull tool and zero out the excess corners, leaving a nice rounded edge. Pull the center rectangle down and key in 1.5 to hollow out the form. Hit space and delete the guides. This is now a basic hypothetical enclosure for some project. For some final touches, let's add a hole for an interface like a switch and a place to route cables. Draw a diagonal line across the front as a guide, then hit C to create a circle at the center of the face. Key in 0.15. This specifies the radius. Hit space, delete the diagonal line, and hit P to push the circle flush with the interior face. Next, I will add an arc in the back for a place to route cables into the box. To finish up, right-click drag to the right in order to select all of the vertical lines. Be sure not to select anything else. Right-click the model and select Soften Edges and toggle Soften Coplanar. Then right-click, drag, or triple-click the model to select everything. Hit Q to rotate. Select a face such that the tool is green and rotate 180 degrees. Hit G to group the model into a component. To save this file as an STL for 3D printing, we need an extension. Make sure the computer you're using has SketchUp STL enabled. This requires a Trimble account, and go to File, Export, STL. I hope this video was helpful, and thanks for watching.